Alrighty guys, we're back for Big Red, and this is a Through the Omenpaths Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. How about the new cards first? We got a couple Wisecrack. It's a 3-mana instant speed. Target creature deals damage equal to its power to itself. If that creature is attacking, Wisecrack deals 2 damage to that creature's controller. Nice, this is a great way for mono red to deal with chunky creatures. I like it. We got a couple Lavabrink Repels the Magmaloth. Here on the top end, it's a 5-mana enchantment saga. First chapter of the saga, until your next turn, each creature attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you if able. It's not like the greatest of chapter ones, right? But there are going to be moments where you drop this on your main phase too, so that way you can keep open creatures as blockers, and then force the opponent to swing into those incredible blockers, like Screaming Nemesis, for example, making the cut in here as a 4 of. That could be pretty good. Now, Chapter 2 of the saga, you get 3 red mana. That's good ramp. That's kind of no joke. And then Chapter 3, 5 damage to each opponent, and that's a chunk of damage, huh? So interested to see how much this saga is actually going to do today. Now also here on the top end we have a Dragonhawk Fate's Tempest, as well as all 4 of the Overlord of the Boilerbilges. And Overlord pairs beautifully with Fire Crystal, making the cut as a 2 of. Now red spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, so if you're curving out properly, turn 4 Fire Crystal into a turn 5 Overlord, that's pretty good because of course creatures you control have haste. So you'll get the ETB on the Overlord, and you'll get to swing, so another 4 damage to any target is no joke. And then don't forget, of course, the impending on here coming in handy very often. So also here on the top end, we have a couple Clive, Ifrit's Dominant. A lot of words on this card, not going to take the time to go over it right now, should be an excellent top end in here. And helping our devotion to red, we have Count on Luck making the cut as a 2 of, but then also just seeing more off the top is pretty important actually. How about some board wipes? We got a couple Slagstorm. Yep, we got a couple Fire Magic. And the instant speed on Fire Magic comes in handy way more often than you would ever expect. We do have some other burn and removal. We got a couple Burst Lightnings in here. We got an Abrade. We have a couple Scorching Shot as well. And we have Choco-Comet too. Now, X in double red sorcery speed, it deals X damage to any target. And then also you create a 2/2 green bird creature token with whenever a land you control enters. This token gets +1/+0 until end of turn. I really like Choco-Comet. It should be excellent in here, and it's an excellent one to actually ramp into and think of our like super top end, right? When we actually ramp off of the backside of Clive, the Ifrit with the Brimstone giving you the 4 red pips, or if you're ramping with Lavabrink Chapter 2 as well, the super top end, a big old chunky Choco-Comet hitting the opponent's face or something, right? Now, we do have some ramp packed in, and I'm opting for a PuPu UFO, pairing with 26 total mana, guys, 4 of them being a Lindblum Industrial Regency for the town of the deck list, I suppose, which could come in handy for the bottom ability on the PuPu UFO as well. Also, with the UFO, it could pair nicely with the little birdie that we get from the Choco-Comet as well, as we get to play that extra land when we tap it. Okay, guys. Is that everything already? Wow. No honorable mentions today. There's plenty of ways we can put Big Red together, so at the very least, what should have made the cut as an honorable mention? Let me know in the comments. Either way, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some Ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I'm hoping for like around a 50% win rate would be pretty nice here for some Big Red, I would think. I'm not expecting too much, but I'm not expecting nothing. I'm expecting a little bit. Yeah, somewhere around a 50% would be really nice today. All right, 26 mana for a very good reason. I'm pretty sure we'll hit our third. Choco-Comet is, you can do X is 0 for the birdie. So that's probably a pretty bad hand, but we go first. I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah, let's push the deck list to its absolute limits, huh? I think usually this might be a mulligan. Wisecrack, open for 3rd mana here. It doesn't matter what you target when the X is 0, so we'll just target ourselves. I'm a little nervous that we're going to miss the 3rd, guys. Oh no. With 26 mana, it should just be there. Yeah, there we go. All right, awesome. So I suppose a Get Lost exists, but that doesn't mean we don't run down the first Nemesis. And we attempt the swing for 6. Gonna be spring-loaded Saw Blades. Oh, it's gonna take out the birdie then. Oh, not the one to take out there. We get big damage and take life gain out of the equation for the rest of the match, guys. I wonder what else is in the opponent's deck list. Another spring-loaded Saw Blades. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, Nemesis, and hopefully we see our 4th. Taking 5 damage from Nemesis 1 is a lot of damage, man, especially in a deck list that has Perilous Snare. There it is. Perilous Snare picking up the 2nd Screaming Nemesis. There's our 4th. Awesome business, man. Now, Perilous Snare coming down first tells us a lot about the opponent's hand. They might actually be missing Synthesizer here. Of course, 5th mana off the top. There is the Synthesizer. They're going to go ahead and scry too. I suppose they just needed to Perilous Snare to get this damage out of the way. So that way they weren't taking too much here. All right, Lindblum. Yep, we can totally just make the mage and then play the land. The Overlord is impending. I'm feeling pretty good here, but Synthesizer can pop off significantly. Oh, especially once they see their 6th mana. I guess the concept there was like two sets of 3 for the Synthesizer, right? So Repurposing Bay can go ahead and grab another Synthesizer. They like, seriously, guys, with Repurposing Bay and everything. Oh, wow, Perilous Snare. They go ahead, take the Overlord so they don't have to worry about that anymore. But I think at this point, we are technically in danger. They do swing. We should keep the Wisecrack open. We could force the swing with the Lavabrink. We could pressure them with Dragonhawk in the air, but then they can grab Perilous Snare number 3. Lavabrink, I mean, they could even pick that up with Perilous Snare number 3 too. So if we do this, if they play it, I'm sorry, opponent, I'm thinking, buddy, I don't want to die next turn, and I think that's very possible. I think all we can do is keep Wisecrack open, guys. If they play a 3 mana thing from hand, use Repurposing Bay. Okay, crap. All right. We're going to play it very, very cautiously here. Keep the Wisecrack open. It pops one of the constructs. We'll do 2 damage to their face 2, plus the wizard. We'll also hit the opponent's face for 1, and then maybe we could win off the draw next turn. Synthesizer, yeah. Yeah, it's not great, man. That's not great news. Anyone's game, for real, and it really does come down. Oh, they keep 2 on top, so I guess it doesn't matter if they're going Repurposing Bay anyways, right? It doesn't really matter. They actually are going to go for the Fire Crystal, so thank goodness we kept Wisecrack open. It's going to be awesome to see this do the thing this game as well. They get another one here as they now have lethal on the board. We are forced into a block for 1. Wait a minute, guys. They have lethal on the board no matter what. Oh, no. Wow. GG opponent, huh? No, they don't. They don't. It's 18 damage getting through. Haha. Come on. Let's top deck that burst. Holy cow. I got pretty... oh, count unlock. It's too bad we had to block with... Wait a minute. Dragonhawk. The bottom ability dealing the 2 damage. If it doesn't get countered, Dragonhawk ends this. Oh, it's a Burst Lightning anyways. Hey, actually, I don't want this to get countered. Let's just have the ability go through. Because they could have had, like, yeah, a Spell Pierce or a Negate, which is probably unlikely. Dude, I thought for sure they had the lethal damage, but thank goodness for Wisecrack, huh? Yeah, I thought 20 was getting through no matter what, but of course the constructs rely on the other artifacts on the board. I just overlooked it until that last moment. Good stuff, man. And then getting them down to 2 was no joke. Lindblum, Wizard came in handy. I mean, getting them right down to 0, every point of damage mattered, which includes the spring-loaded Saw Blades early on from the opponent into the first Nemesis, right? That was just huge for us. I think usually... I can't tell who's favored there, but I'm pretty sure Synthesizer's favored versus this deck list, as it pops off a little bit too well. We only have 2 Wisecrack in the deck list, so... Yeah, I'm not 100% certain, but I think usually we lose that matchup. It depends, though. They can miss the Perilous Snare for the Nemesis, and we do have 4 Nemesis in here. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more back and forth than I'm thinking. All right, yeah, we'll give this a shot. And instead of worrying about eventually casting these, I'm going to get at least 1 down. Nah, never mind. 26 mana in here, and we don't have to worry about our turn 3 with this hand. So maybe there's actually 2 turns in a row of activating the adventures and playing them as land, if we see more mana or something. So Scorching Shot. Potentially up against some 5-color business. I'm not really sure what that would be right now. Yeah, okay. I guess we better get 1 down tapped in case we miss mana. That way we can still activate the other one. And we still got Fire Magic open for 1 if we need to. Like, there might be a counterspell anyways. We do actually find the open 3rd. So we could have potentially kept both of these. That's okay, though. Save it open for the opponent's turn. Looks like they're not going to give us much information as they probably pass it right back. Let's see if it's a counterspell then. We do get the little wizard. We do find more mana, which is not terrible. We don't need the 4th on the board untapped, though, so we can just play Lindblum. No targets for the Scorching Shot. Alright. Pass it on back, huh? Level 2 Fire Magic is open with the Fyra. 4th mana's tapped. Is the opponent going to give us any information about their deck list? It doesn't look like it. Screaming Nemesis. Very nice. Based on the hand, them not seeing anything, or not wanting to do anything, I'm just going to go Lavabrink, guys. Because that was an okay counterspell. Like, if they counter this, good, we get a counterspell out of their hand, right? Maybe Nemesis could land. Okay, so no more lies. Right, I'm not upset about that. I probably would have been if it was Nemesis, but now, with 6th coming down next turn, we'll be able to play around No More Lies. A 6-mana Screaming Nemesis is still pretty good. And at this point in the game, too, we're really hoping for our top end to arrive. Come on down, Screaming Nemesis. Without double blue on the board, we don't have to worry about a 3 steps ahead. Let's see if it's going to be a Get Lost. I think it might be worthwhile dropping a Fire Magic. It does pop the Wizard, but getting life gain out of the equation for... I'm going to do it, guys. I'm totally going to do this. and I'll max it out too, since we lose the wizard either way. Yeah, life gain out of the equation for the rest of the game for a control deck list could be pretty significant here. Wait a minute, I know what this deck list is. I forget, it essentially splashes black for the 4-mana Mardu removal spell that can't be countered. I can't remember what it's called right now. But it's a very scary deck list. I don't even think it runs Shiko. Alright, we're going to need to see more. Now, we do have plenty of ways to see some cards off the top here. I would even do a Clive, because, yeah, we'll lose 3 cards, only draw 2 from the Clive devotion. But our hand is just not terrific against control. I'm not 100% certain, but I feel like they don't even play creatures, guys. We'll see, though. We'll see if I'm right about this. So we can keep the Burst Lightning Kick open, which is definitely worth it. We could also just go Slagstorm while we have the open mana, too. 2, 3, 4. No, we'll hold off on the Slagstorm for a few more turns. Probably going to kick the Burst Lightning at the end of theirs. Lightning Helix. Yep, life gains out of the equation, though, so... now, that Mardu card I'm talking about, too, I can't remember the name. They are rocking a Meringue River Regent. Go the full cast here. Bounce the map tokens. We could, like... How do we want to do this? Hopefully we see another Screaming Nemesis. Yeah, Meringue River Regent's a problem. I'm still going to just Burst Lightning their face, though. Get them down to 12. We do find some mana. Now we can double down 2 Scorching Shots on the Meringue, but then the Nemesis draw will be a little bit worse, as the Scorching Shot's a great way to clean up the last bit of damage. We do Slagstorm, 3 damage to each creature Scorching Shot. Still, you got to double down to hit the Meringue. Should probably hit it while they're tapped out too. We'll keep the Slagstorm, because even without Nemesis, at least Slagstorm can hit the opponent's face. It definitely feels bad when the opponent has 5 cards in hand and we have to play 2 cards to take out 1. But there's not a lot we can do against Meringue River Regent. Not even a Wisecrack hits it well because it has the 7 toughness. Hey, speaking of which, right, so maybe we get another counterspell out of their hand, maybe not. We'll go ahead and just hit each player for 3 and get one step closer to maybe finishing this game with some burn. This is a very tough deck list to play against, guys, and I can't believe I didn't recognize it right away. So 3 steps ahead, they go ahead and go for the card draw here too, and they go ahead and get rid of a Day of Judgment, which just tells us they probably have a second one already in hand. More mana off the top, as we're in desperate need of our Overlords, and hopefully they don't grab more 3 steps ahead here off the stock up. I guess I can change my sentence a little bit. I was going to say, hopefully they don't have more 3 steps ahead ready. There's the Overlord, guys. Wow, that is really good. But with 5 mana open, the odds of us getting this down is very low, unfortunately. Especially, they got a full stocked 7 cards in hand. Not going to stop me from trying, right? We are still playing around a No More Lies because we have 3 mana open. 3 steps number 2. No, it lands. Maybe just some generic spot removal, but that's pretty huge for us. There's the card, guys. Inevitable Defeat. So it's like Jeskai control, but it's splashing in the mana base for the Inevitable Defeat. And luckily, again, they're not gaining life. We're drawing pretty well overall. All things considered, Burst Lightning's great. We hold it until the end of their turn. A big thing here is, yeah, it relies on the Lightning Helix and the Inevitable Defeat to stay in the match. But with that Nemesis... They got so many cards in hand here, guys. I can only imagine they'd love to counter any burn that we find. Jeskai Revelation. Oh, nice. Okay. That's pretty good. Actually, okay, we're in danger. We are very much in danger. We no longer have the kicked burst lightning. We can try again next turn, but what if they do the Jeskai Revelation again next turn? We could also just hit for 2 while they're tapped out, try the Wisecrack on a monk. Get 2 through that way. I guess we hold it. I think we still might need to kick this. We might need to take out a monk, though, is the problem. Going down to 7. Wow. Screaming Nemesis, guys. We won't have the 2 from the Wisecrack, but do we have 8 on the board by going Burst Lightning their face? If they don't block, we have 8 on the board, right? 6 mana still here. Good draw, man. Like I said, we are drawing really well. I guess they're actually forced into a chump here, guys, because they know we have Burst Lightning in hand. So now they only take the 1 from the monk. So if we hit 1 to their face, they go down to 7. If we kick the Burst Lightning, they go down to 3. But then we only have 1 mana remaining. And it's a similar concept here if we hit Nemesis to itself with the Wisecrack. So we actually just clean up the monks, unfortunately, right? Yeah, the opponent played it out well. Like I said, they were pretty much forced into the block because they don't know what this card is. If they take the 3 down to 5, it could have been all too easy for us. We save Wisecrack. While they're tapped out, we go ahead and kick this to their face, bring them down to 4, and let's see if we die this turn, because I really do think we can die this turn. Especially with their incredibly stocked hand. It's too bad they had the monks, right? If they missed the monks last time, well, then again, yeah, I mean, missing the Jeskai Revelation at that point. They probably got 2 of them in this deck list. This is a fantastic meta control deck list that we're really putting up a fight against, which feels pretty good, actually. Yeah, I can't believe it took me so long to realize what the 4 colors were over there, actually, yeah. Have you guys been up against this one yet? I called it meta, but it is, like, a little rare to see. This might be my 3rd time going up against it since the new set came out. So on their turn, they are getting pretty scared to go ahead and do that now, as they search for a way to clean up the Nemesis, is my guess. They do find the Ride's End. Nemesis is out of the equation. We find mana off the top, which means the opponent is still in this, man. Now with 3 mana open here too, you can see they got double blue, so very likely another 3 steps ahead anyways. We don't even need to play that mana. I'm just going to save it in hand so the opponent has less information. We got 9 mana on the board, guys. we don't need it right now. More mana. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Yeah, it's anyone's game, and we're going to play it out. Play it out to the very, very end. Always feel free to skip ahead, guys. Some of these matches can be pretty long against control, but I like to play out my games, so always keep an eye at the bottom of the video. You can mouse over, see the different chapters. In the description, we'll have timestamps as well. So again, with the opponent doing these things on their turn, it's possible that they're doing it now just because they have so much mana anyways. They might as well try to find more. Oh, Jeskai Revelation, guys. They tap out here, though, which is probably good news for us. Take 4. They don't gain the 4 life here. Yeah, that early Nemesis, just holding it down. Oh, that was at the end of their turn. Or that was at the end of my turn, I mean. I didn't even notice that. Hey, good game, opponent. Yeah. So keeping their hand so incredibly stocked was essential for that one. We put up one heck of a fight. So I thought they were doing all that on their turn. I was like, wow, that's fantastic, because now we'll actually be able to maybe find an Overlord, play it, and not worry about it getting countered or something. Yeah, I think that was anyone's game. Guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And then also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you enjoyed the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. Heck yeah, best hand of the evening. Wow. Yeah, dude. Now we're talking. Mana off the top would be great. PuPu UFO. Criminally underplayed card, guys. I want to see it do the thing today, for real. Now, even if we don't, like, ramp into a turn 4 or something... Yeah, so we actually save Lindblum as the adventure for this, because, look, 26 mana, there's still a great chance of seeing the 4th when it comes time. So we don't, but that's okay. We'll still get the Lindblum down next turn and not worry too much about it, and I hope we don't get too punished about it either. We don't, as we find a 2-drop. Beautiful. Another PuPu UFO. We get it down. Does not stick. Go ahead, play Lindblum as the land. So not getting ramp on the UFO is pretty rough, but 26 mana, dude, so I don't know. I don't know what the actual odds were, but pretty high to see some mana. And yeah, missing out on Count Unluck on turn 3 because I was greedy with the adventure. I think usually we want to be greedy with the adventure in a deck list that has so much mana, you know? Try to get the Count Unluck down while the opponent's tapped out, because we need to see more off the top to find more land. And if we draw land and see land on the Count Unluck, then that's where the PuPu UFO can actually start to ramp us. And maybe we can pull ourselves back into this after missing the mana. We'll see, we'll see. Synthesizer is a rough one. They keep 2 on top, guys. Wow. They decide not to attack. Never... Oh, tap target. Okay, I just would have had the second UFO. I see, I see. Alright. Let's see what Count Unluck can get done for us. Scorching Shot's pretty good. Slagstorm. Where's our mana, guys? Alright. We will use that Scorching Shot and see if it lands. It does. Now, they kept 2 on top, guys, so we're kind of just in significant danger. We finally saw the UFO, but no extra mana to play with it. Maybe it was a mulligan? Maybe it wasn't the best hand of the evening. Maybe if I would have got the Count Unluck down a turn sooner and not been greedy with the Lindblum. I don't know. I think sometimes this is just Magic the Gathering, doing the Magic the Gathering thing, and we can't complain too much, you know? Ooh, buddy. Okay. Slagstorm does not hit anything on this board state. Come on, land. Any amount of land, honestly, dude. Yeah, Lindblum. Yeah, mana. Let's go. Look, man, we're in danger pretty much no matter what. I'm going to try to take the turn to establish Fire Crystal and see if we can, like, really get the ball rolling next turn. How do you guys feel about that? So we can play Lindblum. Wait a minute. We don't have Fire Crystal this turn if we want to ramp with the UFO, though. Oh, that kind of sucks. 1 second, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. I'm in a battle with my own deck list currently. So If we play Lindblum out tapped, wait a minute. How does this work? Play that card this turn. Yeah, you can play it out tapped. We could do the wizard out tapped, then ramp with the mountain. Unfortunately, guys, I'm just going to skip the Lindblum, and we're just going to go Fire Crystal. And we'll see what we can get done next turn if we don't die. We don't have Repurposing Bay, so I mean, that's a good sign. And we have chump blockers with the PuPu UFO. So, we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, if Lindblum was an untapped land, we would have played that, played Fire Crystal, had the ramp on the UFO, which would have been really good, actually. Because getting the 5th for the Clive is going to be pretty important. Solemn Simulacrum. Guys, this is a little bit of a different version of Synthesizer, which I can definitely appreciate. Like, we don't see Titus and Memory Guardian very often in the meta Synthesizer, so the opponent kind of doing their own thing. I can appreciate that for sure. Go ahead and crew up the Fabricator, which is a 4/4. It's fantastic. They do go for that full swing. I think we take a chump while we can. Take 14 down to 6. If we take 7 less down to 13, we probably would still lose on the backswing anyways. All right, we'll save. No, we won't. We'll go ahead and chump. That's a pretty hard decision, man. But we'll take the chump while we have it, I suppose. For this game, we just weren't able to set up fast enough at all. And part of that was my fault. Could have got Count on Luck 1 turn sooner. Oh, Overlord. Okay. Okay. And part of it, yeah, actually a lot of this game came down to how I played the mana and Lindblum getting in the way just a little bit, but also my fault, right? So we do have the 4 mana for, we got like Nemesis and Slagstorm. And then Nemesis, we pop the Simulacrum, Nemesis damage pops one of the constructs, then they still have 4 toughness, right? That's like really hard to think through, man. We only got 3. We're like dead no matter what. My brain, somebody send help, guys. I'm gonna do this because I think this is the fun thing to do for this game. I suppose we could start with the swing and see what they do. Right? Maybe we actually get 3 through. Because it's a similar concept. If they block with the 7/7, okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, with the decisions, I made the joke we're fighting against our own deck list this time, but that very much is the case here, huh? So we get to take out, we hit 2 of their creatures, they get card draw on the Solemn Simulacrum. And they got lethal on the board no matter what here. So did you guys see a better line? Because my brain was not finding it. Yeah, they got 13 no matter what. They didn't need the second synthesizer, but they could be playing it out for some quests too, which we will definitely let the opponent do. Are we doomed? I'm pretty sure we're doomed. Good game, opponent. Good game. Yeah, 26 mana for a very good reason. Look at all this incredibly expensive top end. Guys, we're 34 minutes in. That's pretty late. But I'm going to try one more because I don't think we even came close to showcasing everything that this deck list is capable of. I'm still hoping for around a 50% win rate here with some what we can only call big red jank at this point, right? But I don't know, man. Things aren't lining up. It doesn't feel like it's the deck list's fault. Let's see. Let's see. One more. Win or lose, we'll have to be satisfied. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Opponent goes first. 2 mana in hand with a PuPu UFO. Guys, I'm actually pretty afraid of that. I mean, this isn't a 27 mana deck list, is it? Oh, crap, dude. We gotta keep it, though, with all this extra removal and the opponent going first. Fate Weaver. Mana! We got there, guys! We got the mana! Let's go! Let's do, here I go again, right? Untapped instead of the Lindblum, but this one actually makes more sense since we have Burst Lightning open then. We take the one from the Fate Weaver and hope that the Burst Lightning can hit their 2-drop. There's their second mana. And there's the Kraza. Very nice. It's good stuff. Scorching Shot's pretty good, but we should probably establish the PuPu UFO for when we actually draw more mana next turn. Right, guys? Right? We could also keep Abrade open, which is pretty good too. Yeah, I guess realistically, at this point, after you get the UFO down, I should do some calculations and see what the actual odds are of seeing the 4th mana, because that's what we're trying to ramp into after the turn 2 PuPu UFO. And right now, it's not lining up, unfortunately. I'll still stick to it, though. I think the UFO is underplayed. Maybe not for this deck list. Maybe we need just more reliable ramp, like Scoundrel, so that way we can get a treasure or something. Oh, Fate Weaver does have a Death Touch, so Kren over here tells us this could be Naya spiders, not Gruul spiders, so that's interesting. So we do miss the land, unfortunately, guys, and it's a count unluck, so the Lindblum is holding us back from the count unluck turn again, so that's the second game that this is happening, and also Slagstorm would have been pretty good here too. Hopefully they don't boost these spiders above a Slagstorm. I think that it's okay to go ahead and keep open the Abrade. Okay. Yeah, maybe it isn't the deck. Maybe it's just how I'm playing it out, being way too greedy with the Lindblum. That's very, very possible. They do got the Naya colors established on the board state now with their planes coming down. It's still 6 mana to flip this into Kren of the Spider Brood. If they get too much of their board state above a Slagstorm, then we're kind of in danger. So we can block the Kren and then Abrade the Fate Weaver, which they probably just activate the Fate Weaver's ability then. I'm going to save the Abrade for the end turn, similar to our patience earlier with taking the one from the Fate Weaver. A most helpful Weaver. Nice. Maybe we don't do anything this turn. They got 2 mana open. Could be a Snakeskin Veil or other protection style deck list. Fate Weaver. I think this Slagstorm is going to hurt, guys. Yep, we saved the Abrade. Okay. We do find the 4th mana. I guess that's good, but again, no ramp with the UFO. Not until we get like Count Unluck down and start seeing even more off the top. Well, even so, we play the 4th now and we Slagstorm. Period. It lands without any issues. A 4-for-1, guys. Wow. Chapter 2 misses on the Weaver. No, opponent, come back, buddy, come back. Oh no, yeah, the 4-for-1. I mean, that's just way too brutal, right? And at that point too, this was a weird showcase. This was a weird time, man. I feel like we barely got to do the mid-range thing that Big Red likes to do. I guess, okay. End of video pack. What do we got? What do we got? The Confessor's Bindings. Okay. That's my second one, I think. At some point, maybe I'll visit that card. Big Red. Big Red? Question mark? Yeah, there you go. Put a question mark in the title there. There we go. A weird time. With my test games and everything, I don't know. I guess I'm no longer convinced by the PuPu UFO, for this deck list at least, right? It is kind of one of the main early build-arounds, but where was the mana when it came time to ramp, dude? 26 land is a lot of land. You could drop a couple Lindblums, go up a couple mountains, no worries. Oh, when I say that, guys, it makes it sound like I'm expecting you to put the list together. No. Put it on the do not craft list, guys. It felt too janky. It felt out of order, and it felt like the curve just was never lining up in our favor. And that might be just like, look at this curve, right? look at this, the cliff that it jumps off of with the 3 drops here. So the curve is like kind of non-existent, but you do some rearranging. You got impending on the Overlord. You're trying to ramp past your 3s with the PuPu UFO. Then it kind of starts to make sense, but it just didn't pan out in the games at all. And I guess in the test games too, although I do think that some of the test games were a little better than what we were able to showcase here. That just happens sometimes, and it's like I said in the middle of those games too. That's Magic the Gathering. That is just how the game goes sometimes. So we can't complain too much. Scorching Shot is an excellent piece of removal that just didn't get to do too much again today, guys. It's a 2 mana, 5 damage to target creature. Is fantastic for mono red, especially since we don't have any utility lands over here holding us up. We can just successfully rock the double red whenever. And also 5 damage to something like Screaming Nemesis. The most that Scorching Shot was able to do today was double down on a Meringue River Regent. I think in that last game, if we missed the Slagstorm, then I guess more of our spot removal would have done a little bit more, right? So this was weird, man. Maybe I'm being too hard on the deck list too, because I also played it relatively poor. I probably played it to the proper percentages of like the odds of seeing land, but at the same time, maybe I should have just expected to never find land again and just played the Lindblum down tapped whenever we could. So treat Lindblum as just a tapped land. Don't even look at the adventure side, and maybe the deck list will play a little better sometimes. And then adventure side just later on in the game if you really need to. That being said, with our early victory, when we got the opponent right down to 0, the wizard was essential there. And how did I play that one out? Did I save Lindblum in hand early? Did I risk it? I don't remember right now. I guess overall, a lot of tough decisions, and you saw in that the last couple, just analysis paralysis will hit you at some point as you try to combat your own deck list. And that's kind of how this one felt, right? You're going to constantly be combating and trying to get around the weird curves that the deck list is setting you up with. Yeah. Or I'm being too hard on it too. That's possible as well. Either way, guys, put it on the do not craft list. Look at this. Look at this. This is an expensive one. Let's get these commons and uncommons out of here first. And then we look at the rares and the mythics and the rares and the mythics and the rares. Oh, yeah, that's a chunk of rares and a chunk of mythics. Mostly a chunk of mythics. That's the problem, right? We got 11 mythics packed in here and 8 rares. Honestly, though, look at all this. That's a good chunk of uncommons and commons. Maybe there's like a budget way to put Big Red together. That could be interesting, right? Now, guys, if we do end up dropping the PuPu UFO, what early ramp should we consider for this one? Is it just like a Charming Scoundrel style deck list and we just go treasure ramp instead and be happy about it? Or do you guys like the UFO? And again, being too hard on the deck list, maybe I'm being too hard on the UFO in here too. With 26 total mana, you'd think that it would actually work out better. And then if you're thinking like, oh, by the way, UFO can't cast things from exile, well, you're still going to play the land from exile on your turn, and then save the land that's in your hand for like the opponent's turn on the UFO or whatever. Or on your turn if you still plan on using that mana too, so. Yeah, so it still works with cards like Count on Luck and Dragonhawk and stuff too. Alright guys, I don't really have much else to say. I think that the matches kind of showcased what I mean by the awkward curves and everything. Oh, you know what? I do have one more thing to say before we wrap it up. Wisecrack is crazy good for some big red, right? Being able to hit anything is something that, you know, mono black does well and mono white does well, or I should say just the colors in general, right? So like Get Lost hits anything pretty well and Bitter Triumph hits anything pretty well. Wisecrack for mono red makes a lot of sense here, man. I like it a lot. I like that it also contributes to a little bit of burn damage to the opponent's face, which really matters as well. And yeah, I think maybe if we played another 4 games, I think we could still pull off a 50% victory, but I think you're still going to have a lot of puzzles of your own to think through. Meanwhile, the opponent's throwing a wrench in at all of your puzzles as well. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to revisit Big Red soon and see if we can do a little bit better. You know what I mean? And again, if we come out at the end with a 50% win rate, it really has to depend on how those games felt. Did they feel good? Did they feel like it curved out really well and now we can be satisfied with that 50%? Because that's just not how this one felt for me, unfortunately, which doesn't happen very often, honestly, guys. So, yeah. All right, guys. Hey, if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.